Hi, my name is Alfie, and this is a STP how-to craft video brought to you by the FTM Shed. Hope you enjoy.
I've found that these Decor 1 litre sauce bottles are the best material to make it out of. One bottle makes two. I looked everywhere for them and I couldn't find them until I went to Spotlight, so they sell them at Spotlight. And it sits in your pocket like that, and it just kind of goes in your back pocket. And then when you want to use it, you like fold it in half. Yeah, I'm not gonna like do the proper demonstration because that's not, you know, family friendly. But yeah, so anyway, when you go to use it, you kind of like, you unzip and you can leave your belt and your button done up, and you just kind of like shove it in there. And as long as you get that bit kind of like behind everything, kind of like up against your perineum, then, and you know, you might want to like do the practice, but I find I don't have to worry about flow or anything. It's a kind of neutral color, about the same color as a sink, so I just wash it in the sink afterwards, even in public. And I go at urinals and yeah, so because I found it so hard to find these until I went to Spotlight and they had like 1 million. I bought a whole heap, you know, so each one makes 2, so you've got to like cut the measuring bit off, obviously, and you get like a nice. I tried like all different materials for this, and yeah, like ice cream container lids don't work, and various other things don't work, and this works. And no,
Is the one that works.
and like it's $4 for 2. So what are you gonna do? And like different people might kind of have different shapes, so just, you know, adapt it. Yeah, to your experiment. And so I figure you get a little template, or you could mark it on and
How did you get the original template?
I just kind of made it up, and yeah, so it's and I just thought that just doesn't seem like it would fit really well. I figured this end kind of needs to be more pointed to fit properly, and you know, I just kind of experimented, and yet you find that the edges are a bit sharp at the start, but they smooth off really quickly. Like I won't hand mine around because, you know, I've used it. But yeah, so you find at the start, you'll need to practice. The edges are a bit sharp, and you just need to, you know, use it a bit, and they smooth right over. Yeah, so there we go. Whoop.
A real smooth one.
There you go. One brand new STP.
Chef's shit.
So it goes that way.
People.
This part goes like...
Yeah, the pointy bit goes in and the flatty bit goes out. And I reckon if you wear jeans with smaller pockets, yeah.
Write your name, write your name.
That is totally weird.
Yeah, look, it doesn't get
So my home invention is a Prima juice box.
Woohoo!
When it's empty,
Flavor of your choice, of course.
of course, you cut the top off and then cut around the middle, thereabouts.
You kind of get a drink.
That's pretty much it, and then it's just
Kind of smoothen the ends.
smoothen the edges, as you see. The beauty of it is it folds flat in your pockets, like so. Having said that, it is disposable. I tend to use them for, I don't know, a week, thereabouts. Yeah, it's not exactly as covert as this in terms of the colour, but same sort of thing. You put it up against you and you can't get backflow because of the backstop. I tend to fold it a little bit at the bottom, and yeah, you can push it down on your fly against your jeans. Hold your fly down. I always go pull my underwear down and go over the top of the underwear.
Yeah, me too.
But it's, yeah, same principle, obviously. And then you just fold it up. I always fold it and put it backside down so that I don't get drip in the pocket. That's it.
Yeah, a little pocket.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's test it out.
So, there goes your wig.
Where you go?
As you will. Voila.
Medicine spoon starts out looking like that. Generally, any chemist will have them for between $2 to $5. And then they sometimes come with a dropper as well, because sometimes you can't get them just on their own. Pretty much cut it off on a 45-degree angle, so that if you don't want to use it with the tubing and a packer, you can just use it on its own and it won't like trickle back into the back of your pants again. And then cut that bit off so it's not uncomfortable and it doesn't hook onto your underwear. And pretty much just go in, figure out where your pee hole is and go for it. But sometimes you will need to control your stream depending how fast your flow is and that sort of thing.
And that's definitely a practice thing. You've got to practice
Yes,
in the
definitely.
shower with no pants on.
Definitely practice with no pants on in the shower, and then no pants on in front of the toilet, and then pants on in front of the toilet but still at home.
Yeah.
And then once you got that down pat and you're comfortable, then you can try it out in public. And then pretty much if you're out in public and you want to wash it, after you're done, you can use these at a urinal. I have before. You just go to like the corner one and just hide yourself in the corner.
You don't even need to. No one's looking.
No one's looking, exactly right. And then go to the sink, but just like hook it in under your arm, and then as you're washing your hands, you just wash it as well. Put it in your pocket, away you go.
The other way? Yes. So 45 the other way, so you can control it. So instead of being like that way, you come that way.
You have to like pee really slowly.
Yeah. Hose goes over the top.
Where do you buy the hose from?
Now, this hose I got from Bunnings, but if you can find silicone rubber hosing that isn't so rigid and is more pliable, it is better, in my personal opinion. I did this a few years back, but using a skewer heated up over the top of a stovetop,
Or
a metal
file like that.
or a metal file, anything.
Do it with a screwdriver.
Yeah,
Screwdriver, yeah,
screwdriver.
long, something long and pointy, heat
And
it up,
metal.
and metal. Heat it up, go in, and then try and get it as middle as possible as the pee hole, and then run cold water through it so it doesn't fuse all back together. And it creates a pretty small pinhole, but through using these for a while and then putting them in and out from cleaning them all the time, it does get bigger. And then
Some people have said go through from the tip and go backwards, so
Yeah.
that you get, I don't know, just
personal
so that you know
preference, I guess.
the hole's in the right spot.
Yeah, and then
Not really looking that. Hopefully no one's
Yeah,
looking
but
that close.
like knowing me, I'd end up with the hole like out the side.
yeah.
Holes at the front.
I once tried doing the hole through the packer with the skewer without heating it up, and it completely failed. And then there's your STP packer. The only problem is that it can be uncomfortable sitting in your pants. In the past, I ended up just using just the spoon because that just got too fiddly and I couldn't be bothered with packers anymore. And then eventually I completely gave up on the spoon and completely gave up on STPs altogether because I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, hold it up, we want to see the flow. Well, that's working well.
And if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it.